Welcome back to Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog for fun. Last time we beat Sonic the Hedgehog's story, so we could just stop here. Rather than cool off, give myself 10 minutes to clear my gaming palette, as it were, I'm jumping straight into Silver the Hedgehog's episode. Why? Because I'm an idiot? I think? Yeah, I think because I'm an idiot, so let's just jump straight in.
This world was devastated before I was born. A harsh, bleak place where we live in eternal darkness. Life is a struggle, and people live without hope. How did this happen? No one will answer me directly, but they always point to the flames. Flames. They burn away at my world, destroying everything in their path. They come from an eternal life form that we cannot truly defeat, the flames of disaster known as Iblis.
Silver!
Blaze, what's wrong?
He's appeared again!
Now, we got to experience him for a very short time in Kingdom Valley, the Kingdom, the Lost Kingdom, Final Fantasy, the Spirits Within, Kingdom Valley. We got to experience Silver for a very short time. Now we get to experience him lots, because it's his story. So in a moment I'll explain how it is Silver actually works, because I didn't go into that much detail when I was playing as him, and I sort of jump cut a lot of it as well. Basically, Silver's thing is that he is Mr. Physics Engine. Everything he does is based around physics because some asshat at Sega thought it was a good idea to base an entire gameplay system around a physics engine in a platformer. If platformers up to that time had not had physics engines, what was the need for Sonic 06 to have a physics engine? Is it because every other game at the time had a physics engine? Probably that, because, you know... You couldn't move for Havoc Physics. In 2005 and 2006, Havoc Physics was huge. It was everywhere. And Sonic 06 is no stranger to Havoc Physics. Havoc is a physics engine produced as middleware that your company can pay to use. And this middleware allows you to approximate decent physics without having to program them in yourself. But once you've played one game with Havoc Physics, you've basically played every game with Havoc Physics. And you can start to learn how to break those physics and play around with those physics. Another game that had Havoc Physics just thrown in for seemingly no reason, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and there's one major glitch that I'll be using for a Beyond the Bounds on that game sometime that basically can only happen because of the terrible physics middleware being used in the game. Just dreadful physics middleware. So Silver can walk around, do all the normal things that like Sonic characters can do, sort of jump around and stuff. But he can also stun enemies with his psychic powers, then pick up enemies and use them as weapons, like so. So we find ourselves an enemy we want to use this guy against, and we throw it at him. Really simple. You can pick up basically any object, which makes him incredibly strong, actually. Depending on what object you're throwing around, you're not really going to have much of a challenge. and you can really take advantage of the physics. In this way, you know, Silver can actually be quite fun to play as. But there are some downsides. He doesn't really have much of this psychic power bar before he runs out of power. These sections here, you tap them with your psychic power and then stuff happens, so here it creates a platform for you.
When it opens its mouth, that's my chance. I've got to dodge, then counterattack.
You might recognize small parts of this section from when Sonic was running and jumping through it. Basically, each character basically has the same level to play. They might have a couple of rooms that are different, but most of the time it's like the same levels they play. That was a box that appears exclusively in Silver levels. It contains an electronic charge, so basically enemies you hit it with get stunned, and enemies around it get stunned. So you always want to throw one of those because it can help you out a lot. Enemies that throw things at you, like these guys, you can just shoot their ammo back at them, which is always fun. I think basically every game at this point in time wanted to be Half-Life 2. Because the one big selling point of Half-Life 2, I mean, despite the fact that it was an overrated sequel to an overrated PC game, that aside, I think also the main selling point of Half-Life 2 was, look at all these physics we have! That was also a Havoc physics game, by the way, Half-Life 2, so... if you want to know who to blame for making Havoc a household name, it's Valve. Yeah, where other physics engines have sort of taken its place, Havoc is still being like heavily used by Valve in their Source engine, because they can't be asked to build a new engine. I still wouldn't have considered this level iconic enough to have been included in Sonic Generations. But then I'm the person that also thought that Sonic Adventure should have been represented by Twinkle Park. Great, we get to play as not Sonic, but actually surprisingly better than Sonic. Yeah, really, Blaze, as far as I'm concerned, of all the Amigo characters, she is the best one. Hands down, the best of the Amigo characters. She has the most interesting moves, she has this homing kick that she can do, that attacks enemies in the air, and has really good range on it. That sometimes sends you out into the middle of nowhere, but luckily that didn't screw us up. But she basically makes Sonic look stupid in this game. Because she moves almost as quick as Sonic. Has better control, well, apart from there. Her moves are a bit buggy, but yeah, it's not terrible.
This is nowhere near over.
And basically, she doesn't really have that much playtime either. Like, apart from, well, she goes to how do I do that? She goes to Wave Ocean later for a bit. Ah! She goes to Wave Ocean later. She does, yeah. That's basically it. Apart from a few little sections here and there. And she's got, like, the best control of all the Amiga characters. Like, compare her to Sonic's Amiga character, Tails and Knuckles. Compare her to Shadow's Amigo characters, who you'll see eventually. I don't want to pass it back over to Silver though. I was having more fun playing as Blaze. Okay, random appearing car. Was quite helpful. Thank you, random appearing car.
This whole area
You
is
did good.
destroyed.
Having died and not having a good enough time for an S rank, I think we're screwed for good ranks. I wish I could say I don't care, but you know that I really do care about the ranks.
Let's do this quickly.
Yeah. Sometimes the physics on things act incredibly weird in this game. I mean, Havoc as a physics engine has never been fantastic. Oh, come on! The tiniest scrap of car hit me. What we got? Mwah. Oh, would you look at that? Really couldn't be over soon enough, to be honest. This part of the game is gonna tax the ever-living hell out of me. There are some levels with Silver that are just dreadful.
That was easy.
Well, might as well fight our first boss as well.
Come on, you monster!
It'd be great if I could hit his head at all. That would be nice. Tell me how you meant to prepare for that. Yeah, this reminds me of Force Unleashed a little. Having to mess around with physics to defeat a boss. Pretty sure that was Havoc physics as well. Oh great, I'm out of rings. Always the funnest of experiences. Oh, come on! Ugh! Ugh.
It's not over yet. Don't let your guard down, Silver.
I don't really have much to say, to be honest. This boss battle is kind of just, you know, happening. You know what I mean? Just like I could go into a long discussion about how this is the worst thing to happen to Sonic since Sonic Labyrinth. But I want to give this game a fair chance, and, you know, I don't know, really. Just watch him sink into the lava. Just go. I promised this would be a positive Let's Play, talking about all the good things in the game, so let's try to remain positive.
That took too long.
Looks like we stopped it for now.
But it'll just rise up from its ashes again. What's the point of all this? It'll never end.
Calm down, Silver.
Then tell me what we should do. How can we completely destroy Iblis?
By knowing the truth, of course. Just as a flower comes from a seed, or a chicken comes from an egg, everything has an origin. You need to find the being originally responsible for this catastrophe.
Is that really the answer to our problem? Tell me, do you know who it is?